Okay, welcome everyone. This is Tutor Poul from IQ Academy. If you are attending a class for the first time, okay, and today we want to begin learning Math 1002, which is Math for Semester 2, okay. So before we even do anything in this Semester 2 Math, you need to take note that the math for semester 2 is a bit abstract, okay? It's not all algebra like the way it was in semester 1. In semester 1, maybe we had theories there and then, we had definitions there and then, okay? But for this course specifically, okay, I urge you guys to know the definitions, to master them, okay? Because the math for semester 1, you can know maybe 20% the definitions, and then 80% it will be the algebra you'll be performing. How to find this, that was the math. But for this math, introduction to statistics, it's abstract, meaning there's more theory in it, okay? So like the first topic, you will see that most of the parts, they will just be theory. It will just be definition, define this, define that. So you have to prepare yourself, okay, for mastering these definitions, okay? So make sure you master the definitions in this course, because even in the exam, in the tutorial sheet, you will see, okay? You will see that the questioning is different from semester 1. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so in this one, we want to achieve these objectives here that I've outlined. And the first one, we want to define what statistic is, okay? And then we can go on and talk about the types of statistics that we have. We can further discuss the importance of the statistics. We can talk about the population in relation to the sample. We can talk about the census and the sample survey. And then we can define an element, or what we call as a member of the population. And then finally, for this video, we are going to define what an observation is, which is also called as a measurement, okay? So for a start, this is introduction to statistics, and the first question is, what is statistics? Okay, so I would love to hear from you guys, anyone who has an opinion or a view of what this statistics is. You can just unmute yourself and try to answer. What is statistics? Hello? I have a lot of people in class today. I'm sure one of you guys has an idea of what comes to your mind when you hear statistics. What is statistics? Okay. Okay, maybe people are afraid. Okay. So when you talk about statistics in math, okay, then we can view it in in two ways. Okay. We can define it as in the common way, when you just tell someone about statistics, okay? The first thing that can come to their mind is that statistics, it just means a record of some numbers, right? A record of some numbers. So that's the common way of defining it. And then others, they can say that statistics is actually a field of study, right? Yeah, so those are the two general approaches that we're going to use to find out what this statistics is. Okay, my slides are not moving now. Okay, so the meaning of statistics can be classified into two. One is based on the numerical facts, okay? And then the second one is based on the field or the discipline of that. Okay, so when we say numerical facts, it means we can define statistics as any information or any numerical information, okay? Any numerical information that we have, then we can call that as statistics, okay? So for example, we can say the number of students that are taking Math 1002 and Apex, okay? Maybe we find that there are 100 students, okay? So that's the numerical information that we have there, okay? And then we can have other examples for the numerical information, okay? Or I say, what is your height, okay? Your height is a numerical information because it has a number attached to it, right? Okay. Or maybe I can say, okay, so here height, this one here will be numerical information, okay? And then the temperature will also be a numerical information, okay? So that's what statistics is if you base it on the first concept, which is just a numerical fact. And then when you go to the second one, which we see is based on a field of study, okay? Then we can say that, I have the definition on the screen there. So we can say that statistics is just a group of methods used to collect, 1, analyze, 2, present, 3, and interpret the data, okay? And after interpreting that data, you have to make what we call as decisions, okay? So that's what statistic is, if we get it as a field of study. Okay, so for your math, you have to know both of those definitions, because they can ask you define it based on the numerical facts or based on a field of study. So you have to know those two definitions that I've given. Okay, and then we can talk about now the types of statistics. Okay, types of statistics. So we have two main types of statistics. The first one being descriptive statistics, okay? And then the second one is what we call as inferential statistics, okay? So descriptive statistics is just simply the statistics that consist of methods of organizing, displaying, and describing data by the use of tables, graphs, or summary measures. Okay. So what do we mean by the use of tables, graphs, or summary measures? Okay. So it means you can actually represent the data in form of a table or even a graph. So let's say I have this table here. Okay. And then in this table, I have the name of the students and their age. Okay. So I would say name here, say name there. Okay, I'll just write NA, and then there I'll say age. So I was saying I got kicked out of the meeting due to network. I don't know why the network is performing. Okay, but let's continue anyway. Okay, so I was saying we have two types of statistics. One is descriptive, and then the other one is what we call as inferential. And then I was trying to explain what descriptive is. I was saying it consists of methods of organizing, displaying, and describing data by using tables, graphs, and summary measures. Okay. And then now I was trying to illustrate that you can actually represent data in the table. So for example, here I have name of students, and then there I have age. Okay. So I can have student A there, and then student B there. Okay. Then I can say student A, oh, this guy is 20 years old. And then the one, maybe is 27. Okay, so I've represented the data here by using a table. Okay, and then this data is describing the age of the students. Okay, so we'll term this data as being a part of what we call as descriptive what statistics. Okay, so that's that. Please, if you have any question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Okay, and then under descriptive statistics, okay, we have subgroups of that descriptive statistics. Okay, so the first one will just be the measure of central tendency. Okay, so these guys here are so common. Okay, these ones are the most common. Okay, so when you talk about measures of central tendency, we're talking about the mean, the median, and the mode. We all know how to calculate these three things, right? Okay, so the mean is just the average, the median is the numerical value in the middle. Okay, and then you can also calculate the mode like that. So under descriptive statistics, we have measures of central tendency, and then we have measures of distribution. Okay, as we move on with the course, okay, we'll get to understand what symmetric is, screwness, and then we have what we call as ketosis. Okay, so these will come in when we start talking about distributions. Okay, and then the other subcategory under descriptive statistics was what we call as measure of variability. Okay, and under measures of variability, we're going to then how to find the range, the standard deviation, and the variance. Okay, so these three things here, they will be very much important. And then down here, I have what we call as IQR. Okay, what we call as IQR. So this IQR simply means interquartile range. So these things here are going to be very important. Okay, so we'll know all these things here by the end of this course. Okay, and then we have what we call as inferential statistics. Okay, so inferential statistics to mood. Okay, so I was saying under inferential statistics, we are saying this statistics is just a statistics that consists of methods that use sample results to help make a decision or a prediction about a population. Okay, so for example, if I have a population, maybe the apex population of students, right? And in that population, for apex, I have a lot of students here. Then in this population, I only get a sample of those students, okay? A few of those students, I get them, right? Then I start asking them about how they actually live their day, okay? How their day goes, okay? So from the data that I will be able to collect from these few individuals, I'll be able to have a generalized view of how everyone actually lives at apex, okay? So this is under inferential statistics. So we are trying to explain, okay, or trying to predict something about the population, which means a large group, just by just using a subset of that group, okay? So this subset is what we are calling as a sample. Later on, I'll explain what this means, okay? So if I have a sample here, and then this is the population here, right? Okay, so if I get a sample of this population, and then I try to find out something about this sample, that will make me predict how this population behaves. Oh, okay, that is what we have under inferential statistics. Okay, and then these are just the terms that you have under inferential statistics. I think my notes here are a bit advanced. I don't think you guys will do all this, okay? But the Z tests, you will. The F tests, the T tests, these you will. But these others, I think they are advanced. Okay, and then these are the same notes here. I'm trying to simplify the concepts, okay? So I was saying under descriptive, okay, you are organizing data, summarizing it, simplifying it, describing it, and then you present it to the people, okay? Then under inferential, okay, you are trying to get a general view of the population from a sample, okay? And then you can be able to actually make predictions, okay, based on the information that you get from the sample, okay? And then these are the differences or the similarities. So you can actually go through this when I upload the notes on Drive. Okay, and then now the next question is, why should we study this so-called statistics? Okay, why is it important? In short, why should we study it? Okay, so what is the importance of statistics in our daily life? Okay, so statistics is actually a very good field because it can be applied in a lot of places. Okay, so when you go to the hospital, those people at the hospital need to keep records. Okay, and for them to actually keep those records, they will use statistics. Okay, when you go at school, okay, when you go in the bank, everywhere in every organization, okay, statistics is applicable. Okay, no wonder those people who are doing statistics, they are at an advantage. Okay, because they can work literally everywhere. Okay, so it's very important to know statistics. Okay, so here was our time where you can actually apply these statistics. Okay, so you can see we have a lot of places here. Okay, but for example, I pick the healthcare and medicine. Okay, we'll be able to use these statistics. Okay, to actually alert the public. Okay, if there's an outbreak of a disease. Okay, it is the statistics that will tell us. Because I remember you during the time of COVID, right? We had those daily updates, right? No, today, how many people have died? How many have been infected? Such kind of information. So all that is possible because of statistics. Okay, without statistics, we wouldn't have those numbers. Okay, so according to the statistics that you have, you'll be able to make a decision that will actually benefit you. Okay, so in 2020, when the outbreak just started, okay, so we had a few cases at first, and then they started growing. Those numbers they started growing. Okay, and because the Ministry of Health, they saw the statistics that okay, this disease is actually growing at a faster rate. Okay, so what should we advise? They advise the Ministry of Education to close the what? The universities, the schools, everything. Okay, it was all because of statistics. So it's actually very, very important. Okay, then you can also use it in these governments places. Okay, for them to know like the salaries, how much is going to be given to this project. All that is just statistics. In short, it's mathematics, right? Okay. Then you can also apply it in science, social science, sports. Okay. It's applied almost everywhere. Okay. So statistics is very much important. Okay. So if you use statistical methods, okay, to come up with a decision, okay, that decision will be known as an educated guess. Okay, to be known as an educated guess. Why? Because you've used statistical methods to come up with that decision. Okay, so that decision for closing schools due to COVID outbreak was an educated guess because we saw that if we continue like this, then the spread will just be too much. Okay, because when these kids are going to school, the other one is greeting this one, the disease will just be passed on to from one person to the other, right? So we made an educated guess, and then we said, no, school must close. Okay, so that's what an educated guess is. Okay, and then here I was trying to actually write it for you. So what is an educated guess? What are educated guess? Okay, you can say these decisions made by using statistical methods. Okay, and then if you make a decision without using statistical methods, then those decisions are called pure guesses. Okay, and because you have not used statistical methods, it means those guesses may be unreliable. Okay, we cannot trust them because they don't have the mathematical background, right? Okay, so they'll just be pure guesses. But if those guesses are based on statistical methods, okay, after counting and seeing the effect of the numbers, then it will actually be called an educated guess. Okay. Okay, so that's what an educated guess is. Okay, it actually helps you to project what will happen in the future. Okay, so do you have any question, or I can continue? Okay. Okay, so if we can continue, um, this same educated guess that I was talking about, okay, this same educated guess that I was talking about, okay, it can have other words that mean the same. Okay, so if we say estimations are just educated guesses. Okay, or postulates, those are educated guess. Opinions, um, assessments or valuations. Okay, those are also known as educated guesses. Okay, and then now we can talk about the population and actually the sample. Okay, so I think I already explained a bit. Okay, so population is just simply meaning that we are getting everything. Okay, we are getting everything here. And then the sample is just a portion of this population. Okay, so you see that, for example, here, we just got this lady here wearing a nice skirt. Then we had this man in beards, and then this woman here with a cabbage. Okay, so if we just get a portion of the population, and then it means you have what we call as a sample. Okay, so there's no sample without the population. Okay, there's no sample without the population. Okay, so what is actually the definition? Okay, if I were to write it down. Okay, so you say a population consists of all elements, individuals, items, or objects of which the characteristics are being studied. Okay, so you consider everything. Okay, that's the population, and then the population that is being studied can also be known as the target population. So these definitions are very important, guys. You need to know them by heart. Okay, by heart, because this is statistical course that you are taking. Okay, so that's that. And then we have a sample here. Just the sample just said it's a portion of the of the population. Okay. Okay. So the sample is just a portion of the population that is selected for study. Okay. Okay. Do I have a picture here? You think I do? Yeah. So here, if this is my population here, then I just select a portion. Okay. Few of these individuals here, then I create a sample. Okay. And then I can go back here and talk about what we call as a representative sample. Okay. So a sample is called a representative sample. Okay. Or we can say that a sample that represents the characteristics of the population as closely as possible is what we call as a representative sample. Okay. So a sample that represents the characteristics of a population as closely as possible, or is called the representative sample. Okay. So for example, if we have a person from Nigeria, okay, if a person comes from Nigeria, by the way that he speaks, we can be able to tell that this guy is from Nigeria, right? The English is so different. We'll be able to tell that this guy, okay, this guy is from Nigeria, just by the way he speaks, okay? So that guy becomes the representative sample for the whole population in Nigeria, okay? Because their English is similar, okay? And then we have what we call as a random sample and what we call as a simple random sample. So it's very much important to take note of the difference, okay? Random sample and simple random sample, okay? So if a sample is drawn in such a way that each element of the population has a chance of being selected, okay, then that sample is called a random sample, okay? And then if the chance of being selected is the same for each element of the population, then it is called a simple random sample, okay? I hope you've seen the difference there. So if we are talking about a random sample, then it means that a sample is drawn from the population in such a way that it has the chance of being selected, like that specific sample, okay? And then if I have a population where I have different samples, okay, and each of those samples there, they have the same chance of being selected, okay, then we would call that as a simple random sample. Okay, then I can move. These are the notes, okay. And then it's very important to talk about the symbols that we'll be using, okay? What symbol is being used if you're referring to a population, and what symbol is used when you are referring to a sample, okay? So if I'm talking about the mean, okay, I think let me use blue since these things are written in red. Okay, so if I am talking about the mean of a population, okay, the symbol to use is mu. This symbol here is a Greek symbol known as mu, okay? So if I'm talking about the mean of a population, then the symbol I should use is mu. But if I'm talking about the mean of a sample, okay, the mean of a sample, then I should just use x with a dashed line on top like that, okay? So take note of that. If I'm talking about the mean, and that mean is for the population, then it means I use my mu as the sample, okay? And then if I'm talking about the mean and I'm talking about the sample there, it means I use x with a dashed line on top as my symbol. Okay, and then we have all these. So, okay, so if I am talking about a proportion, for the population, I'll just use P, and then for the sample, I'll use P with that symbol on top there, okay? Then standard deviation, I'll use sigma, okay? This is called sigma there. And then if it's under the sample, I'll just use S. And then if I'm talking about the size of a population, I'll use capital letter N, okay? And then the size of a sample is just small letter n. So you have to take note of those differences. Don't mix them, right? Okay. And then we have what we call as the correlation coefficients, okay? We'll get to know what this is later. So this one has this symbol. It looks like a P, but it's not a P, okay? So under population, we have that symbol that represents the correlation coefficient. And then under the sample, it's just by R. Okay, so we continue. And then here I was trying to, it's the same thing. I was trying to talk about a population here. And then from that population, we have a sample. Okay, so remember, we said we have how many branches of statistics? We said 2, right? We said the first one is descriptive. And then the second one is inferential. So we said descriptive tries to describe, okay, the kind of data that you have. And then inferential tries to draw conclusions or to predict, okay, based on the sample that you have. So here, this is a good example. If I have this as my sample here, and I circle these people here, you can see these are my people that I've circled, right? Okay, and then I get those people and put them here as my sample. Okay, and then I try to find out the characteristics that these people have. Okay, so from the characteristics that these few people have, okay, I'll be able to tell the characteristics that the whole population here will have. Okay, so that process of me trying to know the characteristics of the whole population using just the sample, okay, is what we call as inferential statistics. Okay, but just describing the characteristics of this sample here is what we call as descriptive statistics. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, and then we talk about surveys. We all know what surveys is. When we want to find out about something, okay, we'll carry out a survey. Okay, so what is a survey? I put a definition there for you, saying a survey is just a series of questions, okay, that you can ask people in order to gain information about something, okay, and this survey, okay, this survey can be turned into something big, okay. So a survey that includes every member of the population is what we call as census, and we all know what census is, right? When we're just counting everyone in the country. That is what we call census. Okay, so that is a survey that includes everyone in the country. Okay, because when they're doing census, their aim is to make sure that everyone is counted. Okay, everyone is counted. So if I have a survey that will include every member of the population, okay, you go to Chingola, you count Lusaka, Eastern Province, Shangombo, Mugubu, everyone in Zambia, you count them. Then that survey will be called the what? A census. Okay, and then that technique that you use, okay, those techniques that they use, those people for census, if you have seen them before, okay, they will come maybe at your place, then they will ask how many you are in the family, okay, how many go to school, those information that they ask, okay. So that technique of visiting us at home, okay, is what we call as a sample survey, okay. And that survey, if it involves everyone, it will be called census, okay. All right. Okay, and then now we can describe what a member or element is. Okay, so an element or member of a sample or a population is just a specific object. Okay, specific object or subject about which the information is being. Okay, so if I have maybe a population here, okay, and then in this population I have a lot of people, right? And then they just pick out one of them and they bring him there. Okay. And they want to find out information about this person. Okay, it means this person here is a member of this population, right? Okay, so that definition is easy, but you have to master it. Okay? It has to be in your head because it will come definitely. Okay, and then we can talk about an observation or a measurement. Okay, so the value of a variable for an element, okay, is called an observation or a measurement. Okay. Okay, so that's the definition there. You need her to know it. Okay, so here I was talking about a member, right? And then here on the measurement, I was saying this is the value. The keyword is the value there. Okay, the value of the variable for an element is called an observation or measurement. So I have an example to explain what a measurement is and what an element is. So for example, in this table that I have here, okay, I have a company one, and then I have how much their sales are costed. Okay, so if I have a company there, And then here I have how much sales they made, okay? How much sales they made after selling their merchandise, okay? So these people here, I mean, these companies here under the name company here are what we are calling as members, okay? These are members, and then the value, okay? The value of a certain variable, okay, is what we are calling as an observation or a measurement, okay? So it means these general people, they made this amount of money, okay, from their sales. Then if we can get this Jesse Pen guy here, okay, it means he made this much from the sales, okay? So the numerical value there is what we call as an observation or a measurement. And then the company there, or the person owns that company, is what we call as the member. Okay, so you will see, I think I've added a question on this. We'll try and answer it together. Okay, and then I think we are done. It's just an introduction. Okay, so I didn't want it to last for long. Okay, so I think we are done, and then let's look at some questions, and then we try to answer them. Okay, so based on the definitions that I've explained, those are the questions that I've put. So be free to participate. Okay, so we have exam sample questions now. I got this question in the tutorial sheet. Okay, so these are the questions here. Okay, so the first one there, question 1, they are saying describe the 2 meanings of the word statistics. Okay, anyone from what I explained? What are the 2 meanings of the word statistics? Hello? What are the 2 words, the 2 meanings of the word statistics? I explained.
Is it the one that you said, one record of some numbers and the other one a field of study?
Yes, okay. So yes, that's what I said, okay. So I said when they ask you to define statistics, then you can define it in 2 ways, okay. So the first definition is under a numerical fact, okay. So it's just statistics, just a numerical fact, okay, or a numerical quantity. It's that maybe in your house you have you have uh, you have 4 buckets of water, okay. So that will be a numerical fact, okay. You can define it in that way. And then the other one, okay, is now a field of study, and that field of study is just defined as a collection, okay, analyzing, interpreting of data, okay. So those definitions have to be in your head. And then here you can see they're even saying explain the types of statistics that we have, okay. So we said we have 2 types of statistics. Anyone to mention them? 2 types of statistics. One is what?
Inferential.
Okay. So we have inferential there, and then the other one is what?
Descriptive.
Yes. Okay, so we have 2, inferential and descriptive. So you need to know how to actually describe, okay, or to explain these 2 types of statistics. Okay. So school is very easy, guys, as long as you just do what is required. Okay. It's very, very easy. Okay, and then here they're saying define the population. Okay, we just said we are just including everything under study. That's what the population is. And then a sample, we said it's just a sample. Okay, it's just a portion. I mean, it's just a portion of okay, someone has raised their hand. Sui, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what if you are to say population is a set of units of interest?
Okay, so population is a set of unit of interest. Okay, yes, I think it can also be correct. Okay, it's okay, you can say that, but for the most that you include the word like all the units, okay? All the units of interest, then it will make more sense, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then, yeah, so I have a lot of definitions here, and the definitions are in the notes, right? So when I upload, you can actually pass through and know these definitions. Okay, and then we go to question C. So let's answer question C together. They are saying, they're saying what? Briefly explain the difference between a census and a sample survey. Okay. And the question is continuing by saying, and why conducting a sample survey is preferred to conducting a census. Okay, so what is a census? Anyone? Even general knowledge you can use here. What is a census? Okay.
Census.
Yes, go on.
Census is the process of obtaining measurement on the whole population.
Yes, okay. So very important to mention the word, the whole population, okay? Very important. So that will be the census. And then a sample survey, we just said, it's that technique that you are using to actually count those people, right? Or to get those measurements that you want, okay? That is what we are going to call as a sample survey, okay? And one last question, they're saying, why conducting a sample survey is preferred to conducting a census? What can you say about that? What can you say about why sample survey is preferred to conducting a census?
My thinking is conducting a sample survey is easier, more accurate, because you're just obtaining information from a portion of that population, and like
Okay.
getting it from a whole population.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so if we are dealing with the whole population, then there's a higher chance that you create errors, right? That you have errors. There's a higher chance if you're dealing with the whole population. But if it's just a small sample, then it will be very easy. Okay, it won't even be time wasting because it's just a small sample. So that's why conducting a sample survey is actually preferred, okay, to conducting a census. A census is so much involving, it's expensive, it needs a lot of people, okay? Okay, and then let's go through these questions on 2 to see if we understand the definition of population and sample, okay? So I have a population there, and then I have a sample here. Okay, so we have been given a series of scenarios here. So we have to determine whether the scenario is a sample or it's a population. Okay, so the first one, they're saying voters cards, okay, of 100 families selected from a city. Is that a population or is that a sample? Hello?
It's a sample.
Sample.
Okay, so you're saying sample, then you explain why you're saying sample. So why are you saying it's a sample?
Because families were just selected from a city. It's not the whole city.
Yes, okay, very good. And then B, we are saying 320 vehicle accidents in Lusaka in the month of June. Is that a population or a sample?
The population.
Okay, why do you say it's a population?
They didn't select. They got the total number of accidents in Lusaka. They didn't estimate. I
Yes.
think.
Okay, so they didn't estimate. They just got the total number of accidents in Lusaka and in the whole month of what? Of June. Okay, so that will become the population. And then see, they're saying amount spent on prescription of drugs by 200 senior citizens in a city. Is that a population or is that a sample?
It's a sample, I should say.
Okay, why do you say it's a sample?
Because they've said 200 senior citizens in a city, and they've estimated the amount.
They've estimated. Okay, and then the other one was saying it's a population. What do you?
Because they are giving us the amount spent on prescription drugs by 200 citizens. They didn't say that they were estimating how many senior citizens got prescription drugs, but they're giving us the actual amount.
Okay, I get. Okay, so the answer here is actually, this is a sample, okay? Because they are just getting 200 senior citizens in the city, okay? They're not getting all the senior citizens in that city. They're just getting 200 of them. So they're getting a subset, okay? So that will make it a sample. And then D, they're saying yield of maize per hectare for 10 pieces of land. Is that a sample or it's a population? Okay, what do we think? Is that a population or is a sample? Yield of maize per acre for 10 pieces of.
I think it's a sample.
Okay, so what do you think it's a sample?
Because they have said for 10 pieces of land, they've just selected, they have not said all the pieces of land.
Yes, okay. So because of that 10 pieces of land, it means they're just selecting land from a large portion of it, okay? So that becomes a sample. Okay, do I have more? Okay, I think I do, yeah. So E, they're saying monthly salaries for all newly graduates. Is that the sample? It's a population. Population, because they're saying oh, okay, they're saying salary is for all, so that's a population. And then F, they're saying cars owned by 900 and that's 4 cars owned by 495 families in Zambia. Okay, so you can see that that's a subset because they're just getting 495 families in Zambia. We have a lot of families in Zambia, right? Okay, we have a lot of families. Okay, and then G, they're saying number of students registered in the first week of registration. Is that a population or it's a sample?
It's a sample.
Okay, so that's a sample. It means the registration, like it's not only for 1 week, right? The registration can go up to 4 weeks or the whole month. Okay, so if you just get the number of students in the first week, it means you're getting a subset. So that to make it be a sample. Okay, so that's that. And then number 4, they're saying define an element. I explained what it is. This is just said what? A member. Okay. Then an observation. I explained what it is. Okay. So now in the next lesson, when we have the next lesson, okay, we will now define what a variable is and what a data set is. and all these other definitions that you can see here that we have not done. Okay, so the cross section, the ordinal data, will now discuss it. Okay, so any other question before I close it?
I have a question, but it's not concerning the what you just taught.
Okay, you can ask. But what?
I wanted to find out if the recorded video will be available, because I noticed that the first day we had
They were at what?
chemistry, you gave us the recording and the notes, but the previous days you haven't for the other subjects.
Oh, yeah. So I think we have class for biology and physics. But when we do have the classes, we'll actually upload. Okay, we'll actually upload. Okay, any other question?
Oh, there's no class for those two?
No, we didn't have a class due to some reasons.
But for the math, will it be available?
Yes, I'll upload just after the class. I'll upload the notes and the video.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. 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 So those who want to register with us, you are free to contact me. You can just inbox me. Then I'll send you the details that you need to have actually register with us. Okay. So have a blessed evening. We shall continue our classes. I think tomorrow you have a makeup. I don't know if it's biology or physics that you want. And then we'll continue on Monday. Okay.
Thank you, sir.